In the last 5 days, we've had 4 brand new matchups added to the UFC Vegas 108 fight card. We have a brand new main event. We have fighters that lost opponents and have new ones, and this card is a bit chaotic, but that is not going to stop us from making some money watching our favorite sport. I'm going to build you an Underdog Fantasy entry. And if you don't know what Underdog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than any of the numbers you see on the screen, you put a few of them together, and you can make some very real money. They will even give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do to just immediately get all sorts of free money is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog, use promo code WWP, money flying in. Just you're choking on it. Boy, thank God you couldn't see my hand gesture because it was outside of frame here, because that would have been clipped big time. Get the free money. Underdog Fantasy is quite literally one of the most fun platforms to make a couple of bucks watching your favorite sport. I'm going to focus on UFC, specifically UFC Vegas 108. But it's every sport. You can see across the top here, we got WNBA, NFL, MLB, tennis, League of Legends. How the hell that works, I have no idea. Anyway, get the free money. They'll give you free money to try it out. wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. Let's go ahead and build ourselves an entry here. I am doing this on Thursday. Come Friday, come Saturday, you will have far more options than I have right now, but it's always a balancing act between jumping on the lines you like when you see them and waiting for more lines, because these do move. They're almost like betting odds. Well, they'll move up and down. If a whole bunch of money comes in on the more significant strike line, then they're going to raise that significant strike line. So when I see one, I jump on it. Let's go ahead and dive in. I'm not going to touch the main event. It's a short notice main event. B, it has an undefeated fighter in it. And when I break down undefeated fighters, it's always hard to tell, is this guy like the future of this sport and he's 10-0 on his way to 50-0? Or is he just the typical young, hasn't fought anybody very good yet and he's about to get smoked? I don't know. Not touching it. What I do like, though, are some established vets that I can trust. If Chris Duncan had a lower finish line, I would hit that. He doesn't. If you're watching this and he does, hit the lower on that. Ellsbrenner, same thing. If he had a lower, I would hit that, but he doesn't. I'm not going to quite hit the Estevam Rivabix higher because Elves can be tough, and maybe Estevam just kind of pot shots his way. But the line I like here is the Karol Rosa lower than 67.5 significant strikes. I'm going to show you how I got there. If I go to my website, wewantpicks.com, I have a tool called the Event Simulator. What this does is it simulates every fight on the card 100,000 times. And while it's running through those simulations, it's bringing in historical striking stats and grappling stats. It's bringing in historical Underdog Fantasy stats. And it's now simulating the fights. And not only is it going to give you the winners and the losers, it's going to give you the lines along the way. So right now, we're going to select Karol Rosa. Then we're going to select significant strikes. And this is saying in the 100,000 simulations, on average, she's landing 47 significant strikes. But let's go ahead and drag this line over to the 67 that Underdog gave us. This is saying 73% of the time. So in 73,000 simulations, Karol Rosa landed fewer than 67 significant strikes. So we're going to go back to the website and we're going to do the lower. And I've used that tool in the past. I believe I've used it for 5 cards and it is hit, 6 cards and it's hit 5 of them. It missed one by a couple of strikes. And the reality was in that one, it wasn't 73%. It was about 64%, and I just sort of leaned into it. So we're going to add Karol Rosa lower than her strike line to our mix here. Let's work our way down. We do get lucky with a Nick Klein finish line, and we're going to slam that lower because he is not finishing Andre Pulayev. I don't know if Andre's going to finish the other way, but we'll do the lower on the Nick Klein side to be safe. If I go to Rinya Nakamura, I like to higher on his takedowns. The reality is this guy is an international wrestler. He has accomplished more than most could ever dream of wrestling all around the world representing his country. He also is coming off of a loss where he did not wrestle. And I think that is just going to quite literally reset his brain and get him back to his wrestling roots. I think he's going to shoot takedown after takedown after takedown. We need 3, and I think we get there. Similar logic with Piera Rodriguez, and not that she's coming off of a loss and she's going to wrestle, but she does wrestle her ass off. She got about 8 takedowns in her last fight. And in this fight, she's fighting a very dangerous striker who's going to move forward. So I think Pereira's going to feel a little bit of that power and say, nope, not today. And she's going to shoot her takedowns. She's not insanely dangerous on the ground. She does have some control issues, which only benefits us here with this line. She'll take her opponent down. Her opponent stand up. She'll take her down again. She stands up. She'll take her down again. So I like Pereira Rodriguez here to get the takedowns. And I like the over on the line. If you take a look at Austin Bashi, 18.5 significant strikes, 2.5 takedowns. I think you're good with the higher on either one of those. While I do think Austin wins this fight, and I think he's going to win it fairly easily, I don't necessarily think it's going to be an immediate finish. Austin's not like insanely dangerous. He's a very good wrestler. 2.5 is a lot, so I'm going to leave that alone because his opponent doesn't have great takedown defense and he might not have a good enough get-up game. But I think the higher on 18.5 significant strikes is a very solid line if you want to add that to the mix. I've already got my entry built, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. We have had the Rinya Nakamura higher than his 2.5 takedown line. Nick Klein lower on his finish line. Carol Hossa lower on her strike line. We use the event simulator to do that. And then Pereira Rodriguez higher on the 2.5 takedowns. If you want to add Austin Bashi, go for it. If you like this entry, great. If you hate it, that's fine. Get the free money. Who gives a shit? Get the free money. WeWantPicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWW.